Alright, so this will be my first daily event, and kind of excited. Haven't played a daily in a long time. Finally got a chance to carve some time out here. I'll try to do audio for as many matches as I possibly can, but my kids are taking a nap right now, so, or are supposed to be taking a nap. So if you happen to hear some stomping or various noises in the background, it's because they're not really napping. So this is my first game here, and unfortunately my opponent had to mulligan to 4. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Blue is either Delver or Post. And well, we'll just see how it goes. I don't know if he's going to Piercy Charm, Brainstorm. So most likely Delver Faeries. Just because Post normally runs either Preordain or Ponder because they don't really have a bunch of ways to shuffle. Alright, so I think we can get the rest of our guys here in play. Let's see if he counterspells this though. Which, if he does, it kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world for us. Just means one less counterspell for hopefully Distant Melody. Okay. Well, let's see. It'd be kind of unfortunate if he happened to have if he happens to have Ninja of the Deep Hours. Wouldn't surprise me if he did, but even if he does, I think we're still okay. We can at least draw an extra 3 cards with Distant Melody because he'd have to tap out. Of course, unless he's got like double days or something to that effect, but you know, he unfortunately had to mulligan to 4 cards, so. But you never know. I've seen 4-card hands definitely win before. I actually don't want to just run it out there because first off, it doesn't really have any pressure on me. Second off, I'd like to try to get as much value as possible, and eventually he's going to have to cast something. So I also don't want to attack with Findorn Elves just because that's the only elf that I have that can tap for mana, that I can basically get some value with out of Quirn Ranger. So he's got 2 more cards left. Wasn't a Spell Stutter Sprite. He could have some bounce spells, doesn't have any land. May have... probably not Cloud of Fairies, because I'm guessing he would have cast those last turn if he would have had them. Could have some bounce spells. I'm trying to think, I actually needed Essence Warden to cast Distant Melody this turn, which is unfortunate. So I think I'm just going to attack with Sylvan Ranger here. If he trades, it's It's not great for me, but it's, I mean, it's not horrible either. I guess I probably could have cast the elves too, or attacked with the Finhorn elves.
Dad, ask Mommy first.
Alright, well, that small crisis taken care of, so. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's got now. Definitely not land. So if he's got double counter spells, that's kind of unfortunate for me. I'm kind of hoping it's some sort of bounce spell. Well, now I've drawn all 3 distant melodies, so I can just sort of cast them, and eventually one of them will resolve. Okay, so can go Nell Sentinel. Iron Ranger. You can get Priest out there. By bouncing a land. Actually, I need to do that the other way around, so now I cannot get Priest out there. Because Rancor is not a creature to tap for mana. So, yeah, I guess I could bounce a bunch of land to get Priest out there, which actually might be correct. Just because me losing 2 forests, but gaining 6, 7 additional mana is definitely better. Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna, I mean, he had to mulligan to 4. I mean, you know, there's not much unfortunately there's not a whole lot that he can do. No matter what deck he's playing, really, so. This is kind of a hard one just because we'd actually like to keep pretty much all of our guys in there. But I think in this case I'm going to go ahead and take out the Huntsmasters, even though they definitely do help. Iron Longbow is actually pretty good in this matchup, along with Rancor. I think I'm only going to put 2 Spider Silks in there. The reason for that is because, playing in the 2-man queues, I've noticed they're running a lot more echoing truths. So they're not nearly as good as they were before. I'm going to take out 1 Distant Melody, and see how this goes here. Basically, you just can't rely on Spider Silk Armor in this matchup because if you sort of stall at the board, Spider Silk Armor sitting out there, you're using it for your defense or you're counting on it to be able to block. Suddenly, the Echoing Truth, all of them back to your hand, and then they just attack with everything, and over 2 turns you probably end up losing. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe my opponent won't have to mulligan to 4. This also got a lot of runners. 112, almost as many as the standard one, so we'll see if I get lucky and can win some packs. I don't even know what you win. I don't even know how many you win for getting a 2nd or 3rd. I guess there's no 3rd. You have to either get 4 or 3-1. I think it's like 9 and 6, right? Or 7 and 4? I guess I can just go look. Oh, you get 11 and 6. So packs the bots are buying the packs about $3.30 a pack. So if you get 11 packs, it's at $36.30. $36.60. So that'd be a pretty good return on our investment. Definitely would, if I end up winning 30 tickets out of it, I would definitely fill out the last of my Invigorates that I need. Can't believe those jumped to such a high price, but considering that they're only good in 1 deck, it's pretty good. We'll see what my opponent does, though. Well, not casting anything on the first turn. Could have Piracy Charm, so we're just going to run Essence Warden out there. Even though he's good to have, I definitely would rather have Birchlore Ranger or Quirion Ranger out there. So he's going to be able to counter my 2 casting cost spell. Under what do I want out there? Probably a Spell Stutter Sprite, so I'm trying to think of what I want countered. If this guy would have been a Mana Elf, it would have been a lot easier for me to figure out what I want to do here. I think what I'm going to do is try Rancor. I'm almost positive that'll be countered. Because if he's not countering Rancor, I'm doing A-okay. Okay, so he's not going to counter that, so we can pretty much cast everything except for Sylvan Ranger and Distant Melody. Which is actually pretty important, because then I can get Longbow into something, and then I can just start shooting things. So he doesn't have Spell Stutter Sprite. Didn't have a Delver. Didn't want to risk running out Ninja the Deep Hours if he has that. So we could have Spire Golems. May have some other one casting cost guys like Phantasmal Bear that he doesn't want to necessarily. Let's hope he doesn't have Daze here. Actually, Daze would be a pretty big swift kick to the nuts. Well, I needed a Nettle Sentinel to cast the rest of this stuff, I just realized. It's not like I've been playing the deck for, 3 weeks or so. Can't even figure out what I'm doing yet. Kind of want to get Longbow out there. I'm just going to go ahead and get him out there. For me, getting Longbow onto something is actually fairly important in this matchup. Also, him having to cast mana on his turn would be beneficial to us. So basically, if I go to equip something here, so draws a land. Ninja Deep Hours, which is okay. I mean, it's not great for us, but I want to get Sylvan Ranger down just so that way I can block next turn. Definitely not be blocking with any of these guys. I'm actually kind of tempted to let him get through just because I'd like him to cast stuff on his turn. Although he drew and played a land, so he's not looking for land. My guess is he's probably a little flooded because I know I do that when I have a bunch of land in my hand. I just get frustrated and I'm just like, I just cast it right away. So I'm going to block here. I'm trying to figure out if I want to block with two guys to get rid of him. Because if he taps mana on his turn, that would be good for us, actually. I think I'm going to block with both. And the reason is, I want him to cast something. Him casting anything there would have been helpful. Him casting nothing is also fine. Strange that he didn't recast, so he doesn't have any bounce spells. Because otherwise he would have recast his guy. Because he could have just bounced whatever I was going to equip to. So my guess is now is he's got counter spells or lots of land. Kind of want him to tap out. I think I'm just going to attack here. I'm going to go ahead and put this on Quirin Ranger because I'd like to actually keep him out of combat. Just attack with these guys. Say go. Because eventually he's going to have to cast one of his... He's got to cast something. And I'm just kind of hoping I can get through a distant melody. But we'll see. I played a land this turn, right? Yeah, I played an island. Accumulated knowledge. Well, I seem to always guess wrong. I don't know why I seem to always guess wrong, but I do. So we only know what one card is. We only know that he has a Cloud of Faeries. We've got 4 unknown cards.